International Trade Focus is brought to you by Ghana Free Zones Authority and supported by GOIL and Agricultural Development Bank.
Now, free and easy movement of people is as crucial as easy movement of goods and services in the management and promotion of international trade. The tourism sector's importance in international trade cannot be overemphasized. It's the backbone of several economies worldwide. The tourism sector is one sector that depends heavily on free movement of people. Therefore, restrictions on movement, which was adopted as part of measures to reduce the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, affected the tourism sector greatly. Today, as nations across the world, including Ghana, are starting to ease travel restrictions, we want to find out, will this perhaps give Ghana's tourism industry the boost that it needs, as the sector has been heavily affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Anaspio and this is International Trade Focus. International Trade Focus is brought to you by Ghana Free Zones Authority. They say sharing good fortunes, GOIL, Good Energy, ADB, Truly, Agric, and more. International Trade Focus is also supported by Portia Valley Resort. We'll be back shortly.
Your business concepts and investment must be harnessed through a hassle-free and highly thoughtful process to make them globally competitive. That is precisely the mission of the Ghana Free Zones Authority. Ghana Free Zones Authority packages Ghana's enabling business and investment environment with endless benefits. Total exemption from major taxes and levies for first 10 years. Talk to us now about our business oasis created all over the country. Acres of industrial enclaves for all sectors. Our beneficiaries are in vibrant business, exporting finished and processed factory inputs all over the world. And what do our clients call us?
Partner.
Ghana Free Zones Authority, sharing good fortunes.
Breathtaking picturesque views, the essence of tranquility recrafted. What's your desire? A romantic expedition, syndicate sessions, banquets and conferences, or a discreet weekend getaway? Just name it. It's exclusively packaged for you at Portia Valley Resort. Every spacious rooms, ultra-modern gym facilities, games, indoors, terrace and lawn restaurants and lounges, cozy private dining, and all the swimmer's paradise. Aquaba, any day, all year round to Portia Valley Resort. The acts of serenity, skillfully served.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead with expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Are you an importer or exporter? Do you need quick financing at the best rate on the market? ADB has good news for you. Walk into any agricultural development bank location nationwide for that solution to all your trade financing needs. ADB offers you pre-financing of exports and imports, post-shipment credit facilities, bank guarantees, the issuance and acceptance of letters of credit, documentary bills for collection, outward documentary collection. Enjoy free advisory services from our well-trained, dedicated trade officers. Exporters of agricultural products are encouraged to take advantage of this great service. For further enquiries, call us on 0302 210 210. ADB, making trade finance easy. ADB, Truly Agric and more.
Stay tuned for our focal point segment. Several nations have now started easing travel restrictions that came about as part of measures to limit the spread of the coronavirus disease. According to research carried out by the United Nations Specialized Agency for Tourism, as at September 1, 2020, a total of 115 destinations, representing 53% of all destinations worldwide, have eased travel restrictions, an increase from 28 since July 2020. Restrictions on movement in order to limit the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic has taken a negative toll on the world's tourism industry, as tourism depends heavily on free movement of people. The tourism sector contributes hugely to the economies of developed and developing countries. The UNWTO reports that international tourism accounts for 30% of the world's export of services and 6% of overall export of goods and services, with $1.5 trillion in export earnings. As a worldwide export category, tourism ranked 4th in 2013 after fuel, chemicals, food, and ahead of automotive products. It's clear that continuous restrictions on movement will have a detrimental effect on the tourism sector. Landmark report makes clear what is at stake. The threat of losing tens of millions of direct tourism jobs, the loss of opportunities for those vulnerable populations and communities who stand to benefit most from tourism, and the real risk of losing vital resources for safeguarding natural and cultural heritage across the world. 5 months after closing its borders on September 1, 2020, Ghana reopened Kotoka International Airport for regular international passenger travel. Land and sea borders, however, remain closed until further notice. Ghana's tourism sector has had its own share of the devastating effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Industry players are optimistic that perhaps the reopening of Kotoka International Airport may offer the industry the boost it needs to thrive, considering the fact that Ghana highly depends on air as a mode of transport for international tourism arrivals. International Trade Focus spoke to some stakeholders within the tourism and hospitality industry in Ghana. They shared with us their thoughts on the reopening of the Kotoka International Airport and ways in which the tourism industry can thrive. Tudo Jagbele is the Executive Secretary of the National Hospitality Association of Ghana. He said although the airport has been reopened to international arrivals, it seems as though people are still reluctant to travel for fear of contracting the coronavirus disease.
Better the borders are opened, even with few arrivals, than not at all. What we are envisaging is that it will take some time, probably even years, for the industry to be restored, for us to come back on our feet and operate profitable businesses. It will take time. Because don't forget that even though the borders are open, people still fear the COVID. COVID is everywhere. It's now a part of us. And so there will be fear in contracting COVID if you leave your country to a new place. Okay. And that doesn't boost business. Once there is that fear that, you are likely to contract the disease if you are not careful. And don't forget that these visitors always they regard Africa as some darkness, some dark continent. So if there's COVID even in their country that they cannot control, how will a dark continent, control COVID? So there's fear all over the place. And so we are cautiously optimistic that even though the borders are opened, and we are thankful to government for that, we just can only pray and hope that government on its part do what is necessary. You don't just open the borders, but you facilitate travel. You boost the tourism sector. You encourage our businesses so that when the foreigners come to Ghana, they can enjoy their stay and they will go back and recommend Ghana to others. We need to get government to become a willing and an active partner. You see, when you talk about the industry, the government kinds of sees it as a private man's business. And yet, there's nowhere, no other industry markets Ghanaian hospitality than our sector.
Kelly Faisal is a member of the National Hospitality Association of Ghana and the CEO of Chili Vibe Restaurant. According to him, for the country to see the needed boost in the hospitality and tourism industry, it will take more than just reopening air borders.
Reopening the borders is still going to bring people, it's going to bring us some more customers, but we need more than that. The industry needs more than that. The industry has been in a very, very difficult situation whereby a lot of institutions, restaurants, hotels have actually shut down because they've not been able to, stay in motion and then maintain their businesses, so they have had to shut down. Nothing has been done about property rates, and this has been one of the key reasons. There are some stimulus packages that has been promised, the industry. So far, we've seen only. We can't even quantify how much of it has been disbursed by the NBSSI, and so majority of restaurants across the nation and who are part of the National Hospitality Association, of which I'm a member, are seriously in limbo. We don't know what's happening because we're supposed to make plans, and for us to bounce back, we need to know if there's going to be, we're going to get access to the stimulus package or not, because we're still paying huge electricity bills. Nothing has been done about it. There's a 50%, to the general public, but we need more because we're running operations, we're running businesses. SNIT also has to come in to do something about our employees because we have had to sort of reinvest, at a time where it's so much more difficult in paying salaries of retained workers, whilst we're not making profit. So generally, the industry is actually, how do I say it? It's actually trying to survive, so that when the economy bounces back, things continue and get better. So the airports, finally the airports being open is one step. We're happy that the president has taken that initiative, but we expect him to do more.
CEO of Mr. Smith Hotel called for further collaboration between government and the private sector to support businesses, particularly those within the hospitality and tourism industry in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic.
A lot of things are going on. Rooms are completely empty, not even a single client. Restaurant is empty, not even a single client. Yet you will have to clean the rooms daily, maintain the rooms daily, change bed sheets daily, ensure that you get chemical. They all come at a cost. Yet you will have to pay payroll. You will have to pay staff. And indeed, the district assembly will also needed to also come in and ensure this is a time to meet with business people in your assembly. Find out how you can help them. The assembly is nowhere. They can only appear here when asking for revenue to be paid, parking for operating permits, and then all that. How do you provide business? How do you support business in that area? Yeah, we keep on talking about supporting businesses and then promoting business growth and development. How do you promote business growth and development in the absence of this? We haven't seen much up to now. We have not seen any business. I have not heard or read or seen any assembly chief executive asking that you want to meet business people in your area, particularly the hoteliers or whatever, not to find out how you can support them, find out their concerns, how you can model for development and growth in the coming year 2020, 2021. It is not done. And I think that more needs to be done in that, because otherwise it will take really a long time for these businesses to recover. And if it does not recover, the unemployment rate is going to increase. You can see the employees sitting down there since morning, nothing has happened. And yet, People are calling that you come and then pay and take this license, pay and do all this. I don't think that it is too well for the state.
The lockdown and restrictions on movement as part of effort to limit the spread of the COVID-19 affected suppliers within the hospitality industry as hotels were not operating. President of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, Michael Nyako Ampem, told international trade figures that business is gradually picking up.
Tell the hotels and then the restaurants that they should the protocols, the safety protocols, especially fumigation. If they are able to convince people that the places are fumigated, and then they have this hand washing, they have the nose mask, and all the things, the safety protocols that will encourage people, especially social distancing, so that when these things are done, then people are confident. They know that when they come, they are safe. They are coming to learn, they are coming to eat, but they move back there. So once those things are established, I believe that people will be confident to step in to those facilities.
Okay.
The feedback I'm getting from my members is that sales are picking up and conferences have started. So we're hoping that as we slide into the festivities, getting to Christmas, all of these things will be ramped up and then we'll be back to good markets.
With the reopening of Ghana's international airports for international arrivals, stakeholders believe it will take a couple more weeks to assess the true impact it will have on the country's tourism and hospitality sector, which has been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic.